What's up, you guys? So, you know what's going on, you know what happened, right? You are very clear into what exactly people are targeting about you, why people did what they did, why things fell apart, okay? The purpose of the heartbreak and the betrayals, right? So, now that you're there, okay, you get it, you beyond get it. I feel like you guys you know that you have to heal from whatever you're healing from. Okay, you know that. But with that being said, there's definitely a fight for your attention, still, even still, and you guys are feeling pulled to projects or things like aspirations, goals that you set for yourself like years ago. This could be now. You could be meditating on things about yourself, like especially after experiencing several hardships and the skill sets that you've gained, the fashioning and the edifying, okay? You being sharpened with iron, like iron being sharpened with iron throughout these trials and tribulations. And you guys could definitely be having like reoccurring ideas of whom you could be, just how much you can do, just how much you're capable of. And you guys kind of have this natural energy of, let's not stop here. Like, okay, yeah, I achieved this, but you know, there are other things that I want to achieve as well. There's something about you kind of embodying this energy of a jack of all trades, but basically redirecting that into something that's concrete, where you can benefit from it financially, or just add to your overall abundance as well as your legacy. So you guys could be feeling guided to retreat. And there was definitely this energy of people who wanted to run you away, okay? They wanted to be in control of your hermit modes, your retreat, and what you do with them. But this is something, let me remind you, now this is something that is innately within you. This could be people who want you to kind of fall into the mix with everybody else, you know, and be heavily saturated in social media and, you know, and heavily saturated in exhausting a lot of attention into people who fell short with you, okay? So I was picking up on a lot of like bored energy, you know, kind of like Four of Cups or this uninterested or over it. I actually passed, there was a license plate in front of me this morning that said over it. You know, so this is you guys' energy, like you're over it, and not only are you over the bullshit, you know, but this is also confirming that you've gotten over a mountain. I'm hearing this old song. It seemed like all my peers and a couple people younger than me, especially growing up in church, everybody used to love this song. Um, I think it's by Mary Mary, and dang, how it go? It said there would be mountains that I would have to. Y'all remember that song? Cause I can't even think of the words. Ah, it's up to me to decide. Something, if I never try. Dang, I can't think of the words, but that song, never said there wouldn't be mountains that I would have to climb. Yeah, so I think I don't know if this is the same song, but nobody told me that the road would be easy, and I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. So you've overcome yet another obstacle. You achieved hiking yet another mountain. Okay, a mountain that was much more steeper. Okay, something that required you to be even more bold, even more courageous, to really, really dig deep into your inner strength, okay? To really be put in a place of fully being dependent and reliant on God, your spirit team, the angels, and being in a place of having to encourage yourself, validate yourself, accept yourself, like fully accept yourself, okay? Even through the ups and downs of your emotions, the ups and downs of your thoughts, okay? Considering the cruel and harsh treatment that was done to you by people that you really love. And it's one thing for it to be people that you don't know like that, but it's more so about the person or the people whom you deeply love, and to have to digest and find peace in them treating you in a way that you didn't deserve at all. Like, I'm telling you, like, like this was something that was intended to confuse the fuck out of you, because you treated this person or these people with so much love, so much compassion, so much patience and understanding, the things that people seek in others, to feel seen, to feel heard, to feel loved and cared for. And it's like these people chose people who do the complete opposite, right? And they gave them love and attention and care that they should have gave to you, because you were actually giving them healthy healthy love, care, and attention. But instead they treated you as if you were trying to pull them down. They treated you as if you were their enemy. And you guys dealt with this through significant people in your life, family, friends, lovers, whatever the case may be. But it's like, okay, cool. You know, you finally learn, or you finally understand. I don't even think it's a matter of like, okay, you understand the value of your energy. You understand how protected you are. You understand, how things work, what you choose to feed and what you starve. Basically, you have a full scope that's like an undeniable perception of your power, your true power. And yes, you're still healing. Yes, you're still recovering. Yes, you have moments where you hope things could be better with certain individuals, but at the end of the day, things, stuff just get old. It's old. That stuff got old. Like it's just old now. And you guys are kind of tired. You guys could even be experiencing like resentment to a degree. And this is not a resentment that's met with a bitterness. You guys aren't bitter, but you could definitely be in an energy of, you know, not being like, you're okay with not trusting people for the simple fact of what people have shown you. Okay, when you gave them whatever percentage of trust, or expose whatever percentage of vulnerability, and what they chose to do with that, okay, to harm you. Okay, how they chose to weaponize very sacred parts of you, sacred access to you, against you. Okay, so that within itself is very distracting. Okay, and even having to heal and recover from that as well can seem very distracting, but it's also empowering, okay, because you're still being edified with all of that, and you're definitely being vindicated. But I know the healing aspect of it can seem, like, I guess it can kind of feel like, am I really healing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's a test within itself, the length of healing from situations. And this is, and if it helps, I want you to understand that what was done to you some people actually commit suicide. You know, some people actually resort to strong, heavy drugs, or they reduce themselves to like being out in the streets and prostitution. And but the point is, they reduce and they descend. And you guys, some of you guys had people who were literally doing death magic on you. So whenever you're navigating, or you're, you know, if you ever feel concerned about the length of time, it's, you know, that's required for you to heal from whatever, just take that into consideration. You're very brave, you're very courageous. I just saw a scene from Project Hail Mary, how the teacher, he really doubted himself a lot because of a heartbreak, a betrayal that he experienced, you know, in his life. It was a significant heartbreak, where the person he was madly in love with, you know, she left him for another person in his face. And because something that he was passionate about, something that he felt he was right about, she basically made him feel like he was just loony. He was just, his head was in the clouds. She didn't really believe in him. And so it really broke him. It broke his self esteem. It didn't stop him from pursuing his aspirations, you know, hence him being a science teacher, right? And the impact that he had on the children, y'all, like, he made science fun. And not only did he make science fun, but he genuinely had a love and a passion for what he did, and his impact and influence on the children. And so he found peace, you know, even in that. Like, that was a level, that was a good level for him to be on, and he found peace with that, and he was doing fairly well with that, and he was content. But you know, God put him on the forefront. You know, he was okay with kind of being in the middle, in the background. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was okay with his piece of the pie. But he was put in a position where he was offered not only a whole pie, but a whole factory that makes pies, right? And he, you know, felt very intimidated, you know, by what he was being offered. And a lot of it boiled down to him feeling worthy enough. So there was, you know, intentional acts taken against you to make you feel worthless, or make you feel not worthy of certain things, to be in certain people's lives, be in certain places, environments, to gain certain things. This was all intentional, when you are indeed worthy. Yeah, so I feel like that's the energy. Some of you guys, I know personally for me, and some of you guys may resonate with this. I kind of always been the person that will retreat from social media. And granted, I've kind of been doing that. You know, I'm not really active on Instagram. I'm not on Facebook. I mostly only use YouTube, you know, to, you know, post my downloads and do readings and stuff. But even with that, I was meditating on that. Like, you know, it's still kind of unlike me to spend this much investment of my energy on social media in general, in regards to revealing myself, showing myself, you know. And I remember just thinking back, at a place I was in, you know, just me retreating, you know, me in hermit mode, where I was so detached from technology, like, intentionally. And the intention, it just kind of became natural for me. I was just so detached. Like, I was the person putting my, like, turning my phone off when I go to sleep, and putting my phone in a drawer and on my dresser. You get what I'm saying? Like, I will always keep my phone away from me, like, when I go to sleep. Like, you know, just always heavily, like, conscious about that. Like, I was not going to sleep with headphones and stuff, like, you know, like I've been doing lately, listening to stuff. Like, I was very detached. And I've also been kind of craving, like, after, like, kind of picking up this habit of like, kind of soothing myself by listening, like, to particular readers, or watching certain videos, like educational videos and content, because I spend a lot of time like in solitude, like it's just me a lot of times. So that's kind of like my, like how I connect, how I kind of stay connected with others, where I can kind of control the subject of conversation that actually pique my interest, and you know what I'm saying, like, and I'm being, I feel intrigued by the interaction, the engagement, via clicking on somebody's video or searching up what I'm curious about. I'm still going to do that and be that. However, I've been craving more of complete silence. You know what I'm saying? Like more often. So yeah, I'm just sharing this because some of you guys resonate with some of the things that I share, and so that could just be, other people who's kind of feeling this also, and not only. So what I'm also picking up too is kind of wanting to read more often, or read a lot. Some of you guys could like to read, and maybe you haven't been reading as often, or really let yourself get lost in a book like that. So there could have been, so it's this energy of going to the book and reading a few pages here, like here and there, every other day, but there's a desire, a pull on your soul to go from that back to actually sitting with the book and getting lost in the book. You get what I'm saying? Like like completing books. Um, some of you guys could be natural researchers. Nobody had to like knock you on your head and be like, oh, you need to, study, you need to learn, you need to educate yourself. Like you kind of are naturally inclined to wanting to educate and wanting to learn, things anyway. Just studying. It's about, if it piques your interest, that's more so what it's about. So you guys could definitely be kind of shifting back into that energy. And it's crazy because I was watching a video about cybersecurity yesterday, and they were talking about World War III, and how a lot of the war is going to be like digital, or like technology and stuff like that. And the lady that I was watching, which I will share, I'm going to share her profile on my community board so you guys can tap in with her. She's Air Force, retired, cybersecurity, and so she's been kind of trying to like using her platform to kind of put people on, and she was talking about how, and this is a conversation I've had with people a few years ago, like in the event that the internet and everything shuts down, okay, how do you feel you're going to react or respond to that? Like, are you going to be content? Are you going to be at peace? Are you going to be in this chaotic, hysteria response? Like, well, let's say reaction, like most of the people are going to be in. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you prepared for something like that? Like, have you mastered self love and self discipline and self control and solitude, contentment and satisfaction with solitude, in the event that you can't just get on social media, watch a video, do this, do that? Like, are you prepared for that? So, yeah. Yeah. So, there's something significant about that, okay? And I think what kind of pulled us all back into being heavily reliant and codependent on social media and the internet is because there's a lot of woke content. There's a lot of woke content that lures us, and has us spending a lot more time on social media than once before. Before, so many people was spreading all this information. So it's good that the information is out there, but you still want to stay intact when it comes to your discipline with these resources, right? It's so crazy. I was passing somewhere yesterday, and the thought crossed my mind of, yo, like, just I was thinking about this town I was in. There was a lot of places called plantation this, plantation that, and I was like, yo, like, I was just very curious about the origins of the land and stuff like that. And this thought crossed my mind, like I bet you it's probably in a book somewhere, and they just know that a lot of people are not really going to be looking for it in books. Because I was thinking, so more than likely, if you search it up, they're going to have uh, something that they tell you like online. But I don't know why I got this feeling that the real information is in a book. So yeah, it's something about the divine taking you guys in a deeper dive when it comes to your studies. Okay. Again, this is not taken away for those of you who already, are in books. I feel like this message is for people who are already like readers and stuff like that in books and shit. Who you done got your own little collection and library, and or you're very selective about the content that you consume. So, but that's the energy that I'm getting, you guys. Yeah, so whatever thoughts are crossing your mind of what you see yourself doing, you're definitely in this energy of I'm not done yet, like what's next? Like it's time for the next phase, okay? Definitely time for the next phase. And I feel like maybe it's because that's just naturally how we are. They structure things that way, like even with schooling and like how you have pre-K, you have elementary, and collegiate studies, and so on and so forth. I feel the reason why that works with our kind so much, we're naturally inclined to ascension, right? So this is you've mastered something, but that doesn't mean there isn't more to master. So you guys are kind of being shifted toward the next thing to master. Like, okay, you completed this chapter, you completed the book for another one, whether you're the author, whether you're the reader, whether you're both. You get what I'm saying? But that's the energy that divine ones are in at this time. So Godspeed to those of you, okay, in this energy who's in alignment with this. And I hope this is confirmation to that. Do what you must. Do what is your personal recipe and remedy, okay, for who you are, your soul DNA, your soul makeup and lifetime. Because at the end of the day, it's a bigger picture for us, right? There's more for us to do, right? There's more for us to do. There's more for us to cover. And a lot of us, we are multi-talented. We're multi-skilled. We're multi-gifted. And that's for a reason. There's different avenues of which we can be helpful, be of assistance, be of necessity, and be essential to our environment, to others, co-create with the divine. Okay? So there could definitely be energies that are kind of trying to find comfort in whatever they see you doing now, or I don't know if they want you to be tricked into feeling like, okay, stop there. But no, like, nah, you're not just stopping there, okay? No matter how good it is, no matter what it is, and kudos to you for getting there and reaching that milestone. But now it's time for another one. That's the reason why there's a lot of miles in a journey. Now it's time for the next milestone, period. So, sending y'all love. See you next time.